Hello, 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 friends, and welcome back to another live. Happy Friday. It is day 30. Woo, woo, woo. Yes, 30 days of going live. I feel like I'm like lopsided with my shirt. Oh my goodness. Let me fix this. All right. Welcome, welcome, welcome to another live. This is 30 days of your girl going live. First of all, I'm so proud of myself. Welcome, just lovely ladies. And today we're just going to have a nice, easy, simple conversation. This is not me giving you tips. It's just giving you not, tips on yes, you need to go buy, but just like giving you that message to say yes. Let me move forward, okay? So welcome, welcome. Happy Friday. Let me know where you're joining from. If there are any questions that you may have at this time from everything that I've shared over the last 29 days, drop them in the chat. If there's any questions that you just been thinking about, I'm like, hey, I need to ask specific questions, by all means. But today I'm just going to talk about making the decision. Today is title is Make the Decision. And the reason I want to talk about this topic, this title, is truly for you to think as a first-time home buyer how you want to move forward. Okay. But before I dive into that, let me introduce myself because I may have some new individuals here as you're watching this later on hashtag replay. Okay. So I'm Shevvy Mac, a retired Air Force veteran after 22 plus years of serving the United States Air Force. Yes. And what I do now, well, I do multiple things, but on this channel, what I do now is I am a realtor with KW Montgomery here in Montgomery, Alabama, and the surrounding areas. And I help individuals like you to buy your first or next home with ease and confidence. Because my goal for you is not to move into your home and then 60 to 90 days later, you're sitting there with regrets, but you're actually sitting there enjoying your home because you made the right choice and the best choice for you and your family. So come on into my space. If you are not following me on YouTube, by all means, definitely go over there. And when we're done here, go over there and subscribe to my channel. It is SMM Realty Group, living in Montgomery, Alabama. So please go over there and subscribe. And any question that you may have, please drop them and share my channels with your bestie. Okay. All right. Welcome. So today I want to talk about why you as a first-time home buyer needs to make that decision. Okay. The decision to move forward and purchase that home. One is you got to trust yourself. I know it is a scary, big decision. And you may be thinking like, okay, I don't know if I can afford this mortgage, or I don't feel like, I can maintain a home. But I want you to kind of think for a second. Whether you're living in an apartment, you're living with, family members, really look at what you have currently right now and think about what you're maintaining. If you're living in an apartment, guess what? You are maintaining an apartment. So think of it like a home. Yes, there are certain things that the landlord is paying for, but when you think about it, friend, you are still paying for those things because a lot of times it's already included in your rental agreement, what you pay monthly. And then you still have to pay for it depending on where you live in that apartment or the city. You still got to pay for utilities. You still got to pay for your water, depending on your electricity, your gas, so your trash, your also your internet, your cell phone, your gas to go back and forth from home to work or whatever you're doing. So really think of all the things that you are already maintaining, that you can actually do that in your own home. And the thing that you may not have to do in an apartment that you're doing that you have to do for your home is the maintenance of your yard, which again, you can do it yourself, or you can pay someone else $40 or $30, depending on your location, to come and cut your grass. If you're living in renting a home, you're maintaining that home. So really, I want you to kind of just shift into your mindset to trust yourself to make the decision to move forward. Don't feel pressure that you have to, but do think, how long have I been telling myself I want to purchase my home? How long have I been telling friends and family, like, hey, I am working on getting all the things in order to purchase my first home? How many more times, or are you going to continue to wait and delay your opportunity to own your first home because you are afraid? When you are afraid, it keeps you from moving forward. So how can you, my friend, tap into yourself to trust yourself to say, hey, I have been thinking about this for the last 5, 6, 10 years, maybe. I have been planning, I've been saving, I've been getting my credit up to par. I have been doing the work. So why give yourself another 2 years, another 3 years to make that decision? Welcome, Sweetie 29. Thank you for joining. And today we're talking about fully trusting ourselves to make the decision to move forward to purchase that first home for ourselves. Because I want you all to think, if as you are sitting in that apartment, you're paying all the utilities, you're paying the monthly mortgage, which increases over time. So if you're paying a monthly mortgage for, say, $1,200 this year, come next year, it might be $1,300. And then the following year, it might be $1,400. That same amount of money that you are investing in that landlord, you can invest that money back into yourself, into your own home. So don't feel like you cannot afford a home. A lot of times we as individuals, we can, especially when we become disciplined and especially when we trust ourselves. And think about all the benefits that I shared in previous episodes. I keep saying episode like we're on a podcast, but on previous lives where I shared about the different benefits here from Montgomery for Alabama. But also, if you think about your state, think about all the different resources that are available for you to purchase your first home without having to do a down payment, without having to bring not a lot of money when it comes to closing costs. So there's a lot of benefits that you can get as a first home buyer. So why not optimize it? Why not receive those benefits because you are entitled to those benefits? So as you move forward, as you go back and listen to some videos some of the lives that I've done, really think of, okay, and ask yourself, am I ready for this? And like I said, friend, you probably are. So trust yourself to make the decision, because the more that you wait, the longer you're going to delay your opportunity to own your first home. And then you're going to look back 5, 6 years like, man, I should have purchased that home 5 years ago. Imagine if you would have purchased a home 5 years ago and living in that home for 5 years. I tell my sister all the time, she's, been saying she's buying and she's getting to that point. And I'm like, girl, make the decision. Don't worry about the interest rate right now, because what's going to happen when the interest rate drops, now you're going to have all these individuals that were not looking to purchase a home who are now like, hey, the interest rate is low, so let me go out and find myself a home, which affects your ability to get the home that you desire. Now you're going to be competing at a higher price for that specific home because now there's more demand. There's more demand happening. So my advice to you, my recommendation to you, friend, as you think about purchasing your next home in the next 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, or even, 180 days, really trust yourself to prepare yourself, to identify your resources, which you can go back and look at quite a few of my lives to see all those different resources that I mentioned. If you're not in Alabama, know that your state, whether you are in Georgia, New Jersey, New York, North Carolina, Florida, South Carolina, they are resources for first-time home buyers. If you live in a rural area, there are resources available for you as well too. So do know you have options. So don't wait another year, 2, 3, 4 years, not unless you're building up your credit, to get to a point. Yes, that makes sense. But when you do get to that point, friend, make the decision to do your research, get your pre-approval, and hire yourself a realtor to support you and guide you, because your realtor is going to have your best interests. And if you feel like they don't, fire them, okay? All right, so that is just kind of like the summary, but okay, I do have a statement from Just Lovely Lay. She said, yeah, people don't understand how much you actually waste in paying rent 1 year or of saving up your rent and having you ready for a down payment for home. So yeah, so think about it. If you're in an apartment for 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 years, whatever that number is for you. Think of all the money that you have paid to the apartment complex or that home that you're renting for the last 5 years. Those are thousands of dollars. Like if I use my phone in my calculation very quickly, it is raining here, y'all, like really, really bad. And it's cold outside and I dislike being cold. All right. I remember when I was living in an apartment and we were paying, I think it was like 1,200. We'll say 1,200. I can't remember exactly. For 12 months, paying 1,200. This is just for the rent. For a year at $1,200, that's $14,400. That's a down payment on your home. And that is not even including all the other things that you have to pay for living in that home. Because just like you have to buy groceries, just like you have to pay for the internet, cable, whatever you have, guess what? When you move into your home, you still got to pay those things if you want them. I mean, you got to eat, so definitely groceries. But I want you to kind of shift your mindset to look at the same thing that I'm doing from this apartment that you can do in your own home. Okay, you can do the same thing. You just got to trust yourself, save up your money, get approval, make sure your credit is good, and move forward. Make that decision. Okay. All right, drop those questions. This is day 30. I'm so excited that I am so proud of myself, y'all. Like 30 days straight that I was live here on my channel to share knowledge, but also connect with you all. So I'm excited. All right, Just Love You Lace asks, is there a method that you recommend for a person that is currently renting and trying to save for a down payment at the same time? Yes. Great question. So thank you for that. If you are a first-time home buyer and you are renting right now and you're looking to save up, because sometimes a lot of people say, well, I can't rent and save up at the same time. Yes, you can. The key thing with this is to become very disciplined. That's right. Become very disciplined, which is key. And when you become disciplined, you actually look at what is more important to you in this moment, which will be to save up save up enough money to have it ready to support your next transition, which is to purchase your first home. So be disciplined. Identify what all you're spending. Look at what you're spending. And these are things that I have to do. I have to tell myself, like, okay, I know I should be having more money than this. So let me look at my spending. So if you really look at your spending, because a lot of times our spending, what we're spending on is like simple things that we're not even really tracking, whether that's food, whether that's going to the movies, whether that's renting things, like if you're watching, like, I don't know, Netflix, paying for those things, subscriptions. Maybe you have multiple subscriptions where you have Disney Plus, Paramount Picture, Amazon, like all of these things adds up because Amazon, you're paying what, $169 for the year. For Netflix, I'm not sure how much you're paying for the year because I don't have Netflix, but if you're paying like $16-20 a month, times that by 12. So all these little things, they add up. Also, if you look at, if you have cable still, it adds up. I don't know, some people still have cable, but really look at what you're spending. The first thing is be disciplined, identify how you are spending your money, and you will probably identify a lot of money that you could probably be saving that you are spending on things that are not even adding value to your life. Yes, it's nice in the moment, but it's not adding value long term. You can still enjoy life. You can still also Starbucks. Like sometimes I'm surprised, like why people even go to Starbucks. I know they love it. Great. But I love the chai tea. But my thing is like, I don't want to spend $7 for chai tea. But I'm like, what? $7? No, ma'am. I said, not again. So these are little things that you can start doing. So get disciplined, identify how you're spending, and those extra money, even if it's just like $100 a week that you can start putting aside. So for example, and I am not a financial person, so don't come for me. I'm just giving you tips that can help you as a individual who is, financially responsible, but also who's a realtor who knows how to plan to make the decision to move forward to purchase a home. So for example, even if you have $50, $50 per week, That's $200. And if you times that by 12, you got $2,400. So that's just 1 year. And if you times that for 3 years, that's $7,200. But more than likely, what's going to happen when you start cutting things out, you get to save more money. You compound that money on top of other money. So you can get to a point to where you can get the money to be ready to purchase your first home or actually have that down payment. And again, depending on the program that you use, you may not even need a down payment. You do have to bring money to the closing costs, and that $7,200 may be enough. So again, you have to look. You have to look at your numbers. But renting is nice for a short period of time. But honestly, if you look at your numbers and look what you're spending in rent and all the things that's included in that rental apartment or home, you will probably look and see when everything adds up, it's equal to a mortgage and maintaining a home. So great question. I know that was a long answer, but great question. Any other questions for me before I call it a day? 30 days straight. I want to thank you all for showing up. I want to thank Just Love You Ladies for showing up. And because you showed up every single day, Just Love You Ladies, I have a nice surprise for you. So definitely you can just DM me your address and I will have a specific thank you to give away to you. So it might be a gift card. You never know. Okay. But something nice just to show my appreciation for showing up here. So thank you so much for that. So DM me your home address and I will send that off to you no later than the next couple of days. Any other questions from anyone else? If you're watching this later on, #replay. And again, thank you all so much for joining me. Share this live with someone who you know is like really thinking about purchasing their home. And even if you're not here in Alabama, you can also still connect me with that person in a different state, because I do have referral partners in different states that I can connect you with who are part of the KW Montgomery team at a different location. So definitely reach out to me, even if you are in a different state. All right. Well, friends, thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate you all showing up here. I will continue to be live next week as well too. What I'm going to do, I more likely will pick a day and time that fits best to come here. But if there's a time and day that you would like to kind of just put out there, let me know and I'll see if I can make it work. But as I move forward, I am going to pick a specific day, and it might be more in the evening time frame because I know people have lives and they're busy. Plus, I am busy during the day with kids and all the things and my other business. So definitely it may be more of an evening call, or sometimes I may be on here spur of the moment because something is like spark and I need to share with you all. But I will have guests come on to share insight of what's going on in the market as well too. So stay tuned for that. But yes. Thank you for joining. Again, I am Shevvy Mac, a retired Air Force veteran after 22 plus years in the United States Air Force. Amazing career, amazing journey. And now as a part of my other business as a realtor with KW Montgomery, I help you as a first-time home buyer to buy your first home or your next home, okay? So that you can do it with ease and confidence. So that when you move into that home, you're not sitting there with regrets, but you're sitting there with joy, ease, happiness, and confidence because you have made the right choice and the best choice for your family. All right, friends. Well, happy Friday. Have an amazing day. Hopefully the weather is great by you because right now it is raining. It is gloomy. So I'm going to just kind of relax and call it a day. But if there are any questions, by all means, you can just send me a DM or you can email me at shevvymac@kw.com. And thank you so much for being here, everyone. #replay, and have an amazing weekend. And I will see you all soon. All right, y'all. Have an amazing day.